If death were not the end, but only the beginning, how would that change the way we live? For the ancient Egyptians, death was not something to fear. It was a doorway, a passage into another world where the soul would continue its journey. But that journey was dangerous, filled with trials, judgment, and unseen forces. Watching over this transition was a powerful and mysterious god, a guardian of tombs and souls, known as Anubis. Anubis was one of the oldest gods in Egyptian mythology. His name in ancient Egyptian was Inpu or Anpu, and he was usually depicted as a man with the head of a jackal. In the deserts of Egypt, jackals were often seen wandering near burial grounds, and people believed these animals protected graves from evil spirits and grave robbers. Over time, the jackal became the symbol of a divine protector of the dead. The color of Anubis's head was almost always black, not because it represented darkness or evil, but because black symbolized rebirth and fertility in Egyptian culture. It was the color of the rich soil left behind by the Nile floods, a sign of life emerging again. This reflected Anubis's true role. He was not the god who caused death, but the god who guided souls safely toward new existence. Anubis was believed to protect cemeteries, oversee funerary rituals, guide the dead into the afterlife, and judge the souls of the departed. He stood at the border between worlds, ensuring that balance and order were maintained even after death. For the Egyptians, this balance was essential. Without it, chaos would take over both the living world and the spiritual one. One of Anubis's most sacred responsibilities was mummification. The Egyptians believed that the body had to remain preserved so the soul could recognize it and return to it in the afterlife. Without a body, the spirit would wander endlessly, lost and incomplete. According to myth, Anubis invented the process of mummification when he preserved the body of the god Osiris after his murder. This act made Anubis the divine master of embalming. During real mummification rituals, priests often wore masks shaped like Anubis's head. This symbolized that the god himself was present, guiding their hands and protecting the deceased. The process was long and complex, lasting up to 70 days. Organs were removed and preserved separately. The body was dried with special salts, wrapped in layers of linen, and filled with protective amulets and sacred charms. Prayers and spells were spoken constantly to ensure the soul's safe passage. Every detail mattered, because a mistake could endanger eternity itself. After the burial, the soul began its journey into the afterlife. This was where Anubis's most famous role began. The deceased would arrive in the Hall of Judgment, a vast spiritual chamber filled with gods, spirits, and powerful forces. Anubis would personally escort the soul to a great scale. On one side of the scale was the heart of the deceased. The heart was believed to contain a person's thoughts, emotions, and moral choices. On the other side was the feather of Mayat, representing truth, justice, and cosmic balance. Anubis carefully controlled the scale, ensuring that the judgment was fair and precise. If the heart was lighter than the feather, the soul had lived an honest and balanced life. It was allowed to continue into the field of reeds, a paradise that mirrored the best parts of life on earth. There, fields were always fertile, rivers flowed gently, families reunited, and suffering no longer existed. But if the heart was heavier than the feather, weighed down by lies, cruelty, or greed, the soul faced destruction. A terrifying creature named Ammit waited beside the scales. Part lion, part crocodile, and part hippopotamus, Ammit devoured impure hearts, erasing the soul completely. There was no punishment, no hell, only total annihilation. This made moral behavior extremely important in Egyptian society. People believed their actions directly shaped their eternal fate. Anubis did not decide the verdict emotionally or personally. He represented divine justice, neutral and incorruptible. His presence ensured that no soul could cheat or escape the consequences of its life. If the soul passed the test, it would continue its journey into eternal peace. But reaching paradise was not guaranteed simply by living well. The deceased also needed proper burial rituals, protective charms, and knowledge of sacred spells found in texts such as the Book of the Dead. Without these protections, the soul could become lost, attacked by dark forces, or trapped between worlds. Anubis was believed to guide worthy souls safely through these dangers. As Egyptian religion evolved, another god became closely associated with death in the afterlife: Osiris. Osiris ruled the underworld as a divine king, judging souls and granting rebirth. Anubis did not lose importance. Instead, he became Osiris's loyal guardian and guide. While Osiris ruled the realm of the dead, Anubis remained the one who escorted souls there and ensured the sacred process was respected. Together, they formed a powerful system of order, justice, and resurrection. Because of Anubis's role, Egyptians deeply respected and feared him. Tombs were filled with prayers asking for his protection. Amulets shaped like jackals, eyes, and hearts were placed on mummies to guard the soul against evil spirits and curses. Many believed that anyone who disturbed a tomb would face divine punishment. These fears were not merely superstition. They reinforced respect for the dead and preserved sacred spaces for generations. Anubis also represented transformation. Death was not seen as darkness, but as a necessary change. The same way seeds must be buried before they grow into new life. This philosophy shaped Egyptian culture, architecture, art, and spiritual practices for thousands of years. Even today, Anubis remains one of the most recognizable figures of ancient mythology. His image appears in movies, video games, books, and modern art. He continues to symbolize mystery, power, and the unknown world beyond death. Yet when we look deeper, Anubis was not a monster or demon. He was a guardian of balance, a protector of souls, and a guide through the greatest transition any human can face. For the ancient Egyptians, death was not something to fear. It was something to prepare for. And Anubis was there to make sure the journey was just, protected, and meaningful. If you enjoyed exploring the mysteries of the ancient world, remember to like, subscribe, and stay curious. The past still has many secrets waiting to be discovered.